Welcome back. And President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi attends the graduation of new batches of the Military Academy, the 116th military batch, and its equivalent of military colleges and the Technical Institute of the Armed Forces.
الكليات العسكرية هذه الدفعة الجديدة التي تعد من الدفعات المهمة خاصة فيما يتعلق بهذه الفترة والمرحلة الراهنة التي تمر بها مصر ويمر بها العالم. شباب يعي وبحق قدر
youth can really appreciate the value of their nation. They are full of enthusiasm, energy and patriotism. They are fully equipped to defend their nations. They join the lines of the armed forces and to the Egyptian Great Army, which is one of the ancient armies in the histories. The ceremony comes today with the graduation of the new batch, with the existence of His Excellency the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, the chief and commander, along with Major Mohammed Zaki, the commander-chief, and the Ministry of Production and Military Service, along with the chief of the armed forces, along with other prominent figures of the armed forces, along with the batches and the families. They are all here to witness the graduation of this new batch that will be added value to the vows of the army, those who will help to keep the dignity and to defend the soils and the sanctities of this nation. So, distinguished attendees and viewers, this great anniversary, the 49th anniversary for the victory of October 1973, comes in line with the celebration of the graduation of new batches of our military colleges. This great anniversary, which is so next to our heart, for the 1973 victory, which has been always given us pride and devotion to our nation. We are always feeling proud with our nation and our armies, who usually defend their lands with all what they have.
هم حماة الأرض والعرق، هم فخر مصر، أبطالها، رجالها، أملها الباقي جيلا بعد جيل. هم خريج الأكاديمية العسكرية والكليات العسكرية المصرية، نذروا أنفسهم آملين النصر، راغبين الشهادة، أقسموا يمين الولاء بأن تظل راية مصر عالية خفاقة أبد الدهر. انضموا إلى صفوف قواتنا المسلحة المصرية كرصيد جديد يضاف إلى قدرات مصر القتالية في الذود عن ثراها المقدس. هم الجيل الصاعد دوام من خريج الأكاديمية العسكرية والكليات العسكرية المصرية. شعارهم الواجب، الشرف، الوطن.
احنا حريصين دائما على ان احنا ننتقي افضل العناصر، وده المعيار الوحيد اللي احنا حريصين عليه. بالمناسبة انتم الجيل اللي هيتولى مسؤولية حماية هذا البلد. انت قيمة كبيرة قوي.
الأكاديمية العسكرية والكليات العسكرية المصرية مصنع الرجال وعرين الأبطال في كل العصور. إنهم رجال صدقوا ما عاهدوا الله عليه.
Heroes who have been up to the expectations and to their oaths. Military College, with all of the troops, the heroes of the battles, the strong in the battles and conflicts, with the great skills. They are so exceptional of discipline and accuracy. Those are the people of the actual time. Those are the ones that we usually rely on for attacking our enemies. To whoever would think that they can destabilize our settlement, they are usually ready to defend our borders. the Navy College, those our great liberators with the great willingness as exceptionally they save and protect our coasts and borders. Those are the real calibers of devotion to their nation.
الكلية الجوية.
The Air Forces Military College, the real falcons who save our air spaces on all of the strategic spaces, those who are fully aware of how to attack their prey, and they usually protect our air spaces, and the Air Defending Military College. Those who are capable enough to defend our air forces against any violation, regardless of its capacities, regardless of their weapons. The Military Technical College, those who usually build and carry the weapons, those the optimal men who are aware how to execute their milestones, how they can use the time with the highest engineering capacities ever. The Technological Military College, the great technological and technical capacity, the military discipline of its first kind, this system to secure all of our armed forces equipment that comes in line with the first are technological standards. The Military Medical College, with the elite calibers of the best of the Egyptian youth who provides a new hope to provide medical services for the sectors that we have, whether civilian or military. This is how we got the numerous beacons of our military capacities with the great and exceptional military capacities on all of the strategic axes. I pay tribute and appreciation and respect to all of you. As you know, Military College and all of the related armed forces colleges, we usually feel pride. So here, the military academies and colleges still remain the main heroes field factory. So we still have the live coverage, our dear viewers, to have this coverage for the celebration of the graduation of the new armed forces heroes of our Egyptian armed colleges who would join our armed forces army and lines. This great army of Egypt that has spared no effort to prove their strength and achievements, since we also celebrate currently with the 49th anniversary of the 1973 victory. This victory that has written with golden lines in the histories the strengths of the armed forces, how they are capable enough to defend any our borders attacks, any potential attacks that try to violate its stability and destabilize its settlement. This is exactly how the armed forces have been able enough to defeat their enemies. This battle and this war, October War 1973, was a great learning lesson to our enemies, and it's still, till this moment, still being inserted into the curriculums to all of our armed colleges, since it has played a great role to any enemies who would think that they can defeat Egypt. So the battle was not only between the weapons, but also it was a diplomatic war. Now the arrival of His Excellency, the Chief in Commander
السيد رئيس
His Excellency,
القوات
the
المسلحة.
Chief in Commander of Armed Forces. Attention guards, attention to His Excellency Chief in Commander. Honorary guards, attention.
نعود مشاهدينا الكرام.
So, dear viewers, now we get back to continue talking about our great victory in 1973, where the Egyptian army has been able to attract the attention of the whole world, and how very exceptionally they were able to defeat their enemies after this exceptional victory. So, dear viewers, since today we celebrate with the graduation of new batches of the different cadets from the military colleges and our patriots and heroes, we need to also indicate to the significance of talking about those batches, so as to pay tribute to those from our armed forces headquarters. We will name the leaders to the batches of armed forces, and in October 2022 we have named lots of those batches under our great leaders in armed forces. So the armed forces 1916 batch named after Safiuddin Ali Shawaf, and also the 73 batch for Anavi, Farid Muhammad Sharif, Colonel Muhammad Sadiq, and the 1980 Navy batch, Commander Said Kamel Abdel Wahab, and 95 Military College Major General Medhat Mustafa, and Air Defense batch Difaa Hamdi, and Medical batch Marshal Muhammad Kamel, and the 51 batch for the Military Technical batch Commander Muhammad Farouk Yusuf Kurtam. So this is a sign of appreciation to our armed force leaders, and how they have been named as one of the slogan of our current generation and also our previous generations, which is defending our soils and sanctities, and to defend all of our citizens. This is the actual mission of our armed forces against any kind of attacks or attacks that try to attack our soils. We also need to indicate our dear viewers to the fact that one of our war majors in the 6th of October anniversary that we celebrate country, he was one of the hosts to the London Strategic Institute, and he was asked about the October War and suspense to the enemy. So he said that the Egyptian soldiers, how to build their capacities, how to provide and equip them with all of the new tactics and capabilities. This is the main concern of the Egyptian armed forces in that framework. So in 1973, October War has been able to change lots of concepts and the military global understanding, in addition also to the documents that have covered lots of moral lessons that can add new principles and assets to the military science. So this war was a real achievement by the Egyptian armed forces in collaboration with our great people of Egypt, also with the support of all our Arab countries' people, as we've been all able to have this great history of victories. And talking about building capacities of our soldiers and troops, let's talk firstly about the Egyptian armed forces, where we stand here today. Now, with the arrival of His Excellency, the Chief Commander, the Ministry of Defense and Military Production. His Excellency, the General Chief of Armed Forces, the Minister of Military Production. Honorary guards, attention to His Excellency, the General Commander. Guards, attention. So, dear viewers, now we are still waiting the arrival of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt and the High Commander of Armed Forces, to the yard to celebrate with his sons the graduation of the cadets of the different military colleges with their graduation ceremony. So this is not only their own celebration, but it's celebration to all of our Egyptian nation with the new blood vessels of pride to our army, who would play a great role in defeating their enemies. So we will talk historically about the armed forces that have been constructed under the name of the military school, and then it was moved to Aswan in 1921 under the name of military school. So we got Tolgay military school in Tora and in Murad Bek in Giza in 1831, and the Jihad Abad military in Khanka in 1832. Then it was moved to Abbasiyya in the era of Abbas al-Awwal in 1884, and then it was moved to Qal'a Saidiyya in Qanatir in 1858 as a Saidiyya school, and then moved to Qasr al-Nil in 1864, moved also to Abbasiyya in 1879 under the name of the new military school, and then moved to the Kushlak Ahmar next to Al-Za'faran in 1893. And to Kubri Ubba it was moved in 1808 under the military school, and then it was called as the Royal Military School in 1883. So we got the military college starting from the 1st of March 1955. The first principal of Military College was General Abdul Wahid Ammar, the first batch of the armed forces on the 4th of August until 1959 until 1975. First Ministry of Defense for the post-revolution batch was batch number 35 that was graduated in April 1965. The first chief commander for armed forces for the post-revolution batches was General Salahuddin Halabi for this 36th batch, which was graduated in the 1st of November 65. The first principal for the military college for the post-revolution batches was the General Mahmoud al-Masri for the batch number 30 that was graduated on the 9th of August in 1952. And since the 13th of February in 1968, this was the beginning of calling the cadets as battle and warriors. That was in the era of General Mahmoud Zaki Abdul Latif, the principal of the armed forces. And since then, since we started to give the name of our marchers and leaders to the batches of the armed forces, starting from 49 batch, which was graduated in the 31st of October on 1968. That was called after the name of the belated Muhammad Galal. So, as you know, how to compose and to build awareness is really important to equip our cadets with all of the state-of-art and world standards. And this helps them to be able to get all of these tactics and exercises where they are exercised, and they do exercises to be able to adapt with those changes in the world annually. So the military colleges and with all of its branches, they provide and they actually accept the approval and submission of thousands of Egyptian cadets according to specific tests and annual moderation, where we get a huge number and being selectively chosen from those who submitted to join those colleges till we have the actual selection for those whom are capable enough and meet expectations and make it up to those lines and throughout all of the strategic aspects. Dear viewers, in line of the pre-qualification for our troops and forces, there is a huge concern from the general authority of the armed forces towards those cadets to make sure that they are real calibers, so they could be role models to their colleagues and their leaders, and to be role model, as His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has mentioned previously and numerously, that they play the actual role model for the other troopers, as well as they have also lots of responsibilities to save the equipments that they have and to follow on maintaining those equipment. So they should be also up to the known quote that my weapon is always mine, I would never surrender. So they should spare no effort to work on maintaining those weapons and to make sure that they will have also these kind of incentives to be addressed towards the rest of colleagues, so we can have a general framework which could be a real ideal framework representing the Arab Republic of Egypt. And in the annual celebration for the graduation of new batches, there is an actual feeling that we all can feel from the first cadets, which is discipline, wellness, and the struggle to be ideal. So this is the actual status that we can feel for the first cadets, but also through our inspection to the headquarters of the armed forces, we can also feel this great discipline, starting from the main gate up to the yard of the celebration. So there is a real mechanism, very accurate mechanism, that we maybe wouldn't be able to see as is in other headquarters. And again, this is not just for the celebration of the graduation, but this is the actual discipline and approach that all of the armed forces colleges have, as we have heard from all of the first cadets of all of those colleges. as this is the actual mechanism to defend our country. Meanwhile, there is endeavors that we can test in all of the factory of our men. Now we have got the arrival to the celebration yard. His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, the higher chief in command of the armed forces.
السيد الرئيس
His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, the High Commander of Chief of the Armed Forces. Honor guards, the national anthem. Attention. Honor guards, weapons alongside. Honor guards, In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, from the factory of men and the layer of heroes here from the College of the Armed Forces, along with the celebration of the victory of October 1973 that has returned our dignity back to its place. Here today, the Armed Forces celebrate the graduation of new batches from our heroes of the military colleges, youth full of patriotism and enthusiasm that would join today to the greatest, strongest, and the most ancient armies of the world, the Egyptian army, and with the existence of His Excellency, the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. Towards the right of the earth and in the heaven, we have a number of helicopters carrying the flag of the Arab Republic of Egypt, along with the flag of the Armed Forces College, along with the main branches of the Armed Forces College's flags, as a sign to commence the celebration. The celebration will be commenced with the fight and the self-defense exercises in the yard. Now the parade is being explored with the flag of the fighters, with some of the exercises that they will use to do lots of different exercises in the yard. And now the cadets provide some of the fitness exercises and the main exercises that demonstrate their high body fitness that all of our fighters have. Just right directly in front of there, the cadets perform some of the special fitness exercises with very new tactics. And in the backyard also there are some other individual exercises with those cadets demonstrated their high fitness. And we can see also on the equipment demonstration for some of the physical fitness in a way that reflected the high trainings that they have been undergone. These great skills and capacities that we see from the fighters to perform all of the sports and exercises of the battlefield. Now the cadets also do some bilateral exercises that also help in the spirit of teamwork. Meanwhile, the Armed Forces College has been ranked at the first in the sports league for the military colleges, along with the police academy for this year. Some features of the flexibility and the skills that our military college cadets have. Now the cadets will move to perform some other exercises that also demonstrate how they are able to perform abdominal exercises. Dear viewers and attendees, we want to let you know that we will use some sound features where now we can see also the cadets inside the yard. They provide some of the hand fighting exercises. Also we see those commanders, fighters, they perform descending from those buildings by using those ropes, and their slogan is patriotism and pride. On the other side, we also see the cadets from the Armed Forces and Police Academy perform some other exercises in collaboration with the Special Forces and Commanders and paratroopers to provide the rapid descending and climbing by usage of the related weapons. This bold performance from the military, armed forces and the commanders to perform all of those missions exceptionally and as never been before. And we still see now the paratroopers and commandos. They perform numerous exercises to demonstrate their strength, skills and capacities. Those heroes, the men of the military academy, demonstrate their capacities throughout the yard of the headquarters of the Armed Forces College, the beacon of pride and dignity, the beacon of victory, where all of their activities and exercises are being shown.
أكتوبر 49 عاما
49 years
تخليدا لذكرى انتصارات أكتوبر المجيدة.
For the victory of 1973.
وتحقيقا لرؤية مصر
Egyptian Vision 2030,
تحصلت الكلية
the
الحربية
Armed
على
Forces College
الاعتماد
has got
الأكاديمي
the academic ratification from the National Authority of Quality and ratification affiliated to the cabinet.
ويتقدم الآن من
Now,
يسار المنصة
from the left-hand side, we have the other cadets from the final class with their slogans and flags of the armed forces where they carry throughout the various ages. Now we have our jokers with great pride and enthusiasm in the yard. Era of Muhammad Ali. The royal era. The new era. With the slogan and the flag of the military academy that was constructed according to law number 149 for 2022 to construct the Egyptian Military College. Those are our heroes, our fighters of today and the jokers of tomorrow. And now we have the flow of our fighters where they get their bikes in harmonizing forms, where they form the flag of the Arab Republic of Egypt, which shows their unity in this parade that also they use to increase and upscale their fitness and physical fitness. Now our fighters and cadets perform lots of formations with very systematic manner, which demonstrate their confidence. And today we are honored to have the existence of the heroes of Egyptian military sport academies who have received Olympic medals and along with the international medals. So we pay tribute to our heroes and heroines who have lifted up the Egyptian flags in international Olympic Games. This great performance that shows the capacities of our armed forces cadets. And in collaboration with the Egyptian host for COP27, the military college has got also the environment ratification for ISO 1001. Now with the parade of technical skills with the usage of weapons. So now we demonstrate the highest level of trainings for the usage of weapons that require to have a huge muscular and mental synergy from our cadets. formation with various sides indicates the great strategies
هؤلاء هم أبناء
Those
مصر
are the
ورجالها.
sons and the great men, great youth of our Egyptian people who have taken an oath to defeat their homelands, who have given their souls to defeat their nation, who are up to their commitment to be up to our expectations and to perform all of their due diligence and to defeat each inch of our great soil till the latest drop of their blood for the eternal life of Egypt. Those our heroes who are relentlessly have taken decisions to defeat any enemy. Long live with your strength, always proud and relentlessly attacking the enemies. Now with the parade of the military musical instruments. Now we have the flow of the musical instrument musicians along with the cadets of the Medical College of the Armed Forces with 1,400 female and male musicians to demonstrate the professional tactics and exercise they were undergone.
افضل اجاهد وامشي من كفاح لكفاح طول ما ايدي في ايدك اخدها واقوم واقف واقول طول ما ايدي في ايدك اخدها واقوم واقف واقول حي حي على الفلاح حي حي على الفلاح.
Thanks to our military musicians and for the musical instruments, they have the lotus flower that have inside the life key and pyramids inside.
شعب حر ومستحيل تقدر عليه الظروف الصعبة ولا لحد ما مصر تحتاج له تلاقيه شعب دايما ربنا مسدد خطاه. صورة 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 كلنا كده عايزين صورة 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 كلنا كده عايزين صورة صورة للشعب الفرحان تحت الراية المنصورة.
جسد العازفون
Our musicians have performed the peace bird and flower of peace to demonstrate brotherhood and peace.
مصر 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 تعيش يا مصر 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 تعيش يا مصر حرة أصيلة وشعب أصيل باني حضارة وادي النيل بالأجداد للأحفاد جاية تقول للكل دي مصر يا بلدي يا مصري بلدي مصر 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 تعيش يا مصر 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 تعيش يا مصر عشت يا مصر وعاش ولادك يبنوا في مجد يزيد أمجادك ويهنوكي ويخلوكي يسبقي كل الدنيا يا مصر يا بلدي يا مصر بلدي مصر 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 تعيش يا مصر 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 تعيش يا مصر يا أغلى اسم في الوجود يا مصر يا اسم مخلوق القلوب يا مصر يا أغلى اسم في الوجود يا مصر يا اسم مخلوق القلوب يا مصر نعيش بمصر ونموت بمصر مصر مصر نحيا مصر.
ويستعرض الآن
And now we have a demonstration in front of you, solo team demonstrating their professional musicianal art. And now we will have the musician for our military music part band, some of the national songs in celebration of the victory of October 73.
الله أكبر بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله الزين وكبر بسم الله بسم الله سينا يا سينا بسم الله بسم الله قادر عدينا بسم الله بسم الله ما قدروا علينا بسم الله بسم الله جنود قاعدينا بسم الله بسم الله الله أكبر أذن وكبر الله أكبر أذن وكبر وقول يا رب النصرة تكبر جمعنا كل قوتنا وسندتنا عروبتنا وسمينا وعدينا وإيد المولى ساعدتنا وسمينا وعدينا وشقينا طريق النصر وإيد المولى ساعدتنا ورجعنا ابتسامة مصر وشقينا طريق النصر ورجعنا ابتسامة مصر فرحة مصر كبيرة الليلة والمستقبل صورته جميلة والخير زاد والنور عاد زي بلدنا مفيش يا ولاد فرحة مصر كبيرة الليلة فرحة مصر كبيرة
It's worth mentioning that the military musical bands have also contributed in numerous international and worldwide conferences and events, and they have received the World Cup for the military musician band for successive 6 years. Also, the Department of the Military Musicians have received the Republic Medal from the belated President Gamal Abdel Nasser.
بين الأمم عظيمة يا مصر عظيمة يا مصر يا أرض النعم عظيمة يا مصر يا أرض النعم ويبقى الانضباط العسكري.
The military discipline remains one of the most important features of our army and its actual approach to maintain the highest capacities of military battle capacities, and this is shown through the military parade.
يا كاتب التاريخ
By you who write the lines of the history, those are the defenders of our homeland who have taken an oath to defend our soils. Long live our countries. This is the actual slogan they usually have. Egypt, our homeland, and my devoted, long-lasting devotion, where I stayed days and nights, spared no effort to defend this castle of history, where existence of this universe has been defended, your name will remain on the clouds of the skies. I will spare no effort from my years and will provide all my blood drops and souls when it's required to defeat as weapons thy who believe in Allah would never be defeated. With the war drums, musical bands, and in front of the parade is the commander of the drummers, and carrying their flags, in front of which is the slogan of pride and dignity, the armed forces flag. And we have the flow into the parade yard, the military parade branches for the military colleges, cadets, and the police academy. Muhammad Samir, the military parade commander, I would ask Your Excellency your commands. Military parade groups ready to pass through with the regular step. 20 steps between each group and turn outside, turn. Regular steps. The great people of Egypt in front of our eyes right now. We have the new generation of our military cadets who are taking the steps to go in front of the lines, fully equipped to defeat and to attack this golden generation that we can feel pride with in front of all other nations who have been completely trained with higher tactics to be up to the liabilities throughout all of the strategic lines and axes. Those would always act as a single troopers, and they send a message to their people stating that Egypt will be always defeated, protected, relentlessly protected on its lands and soil with full security, and to make its borders an actual battlefield to whoever would think to violate whenever it takes. We will be up to the expectations because we are the best of the universe soldiers. On the left side of the yard we have the commander of the military coup, and beyond them the flags, the barriers, in front of which is the armed forces flag, the sign of our dignity and pride, followed by the military academies and police academy flags with the various battalions of the armed forces colleges. Long live Egypt, the devotest of the lands, with the flags flying in the skies, up high in the horizons, in the sky of the universe. Now we have the queue with the march of the armed forces song written by Farouk Goueda and by Kamal Tawil. Now we have the lines in front of the yard, the first batches of the Armed Forces College. Group of police academy, those the guards of internal security, in this great national patriot feature that reflect the brotherhood and integration between both of the settlement of this nation, arms, police and army. And then a group of the graduates of the Navy College. Followed by the second group of the graduates of the Armed Forces cadets. The group of the graduates of the Air Force and medical colleges in the Armed Forces colleges.
ويظهر الآن في سماء
And now in the parade sky we have the paratroopers from the paratrooper forces carrying the flags of the Armed Forces Colleges and the branches of the Armed Forces Academy. Group of the graduates of the Military Technical College cadets. As we also witness now another group who carries the flags of the military colleges, the military armed forces flag, and the flag of the Naval College, and the flag of the Air Forces College, along with the Air Defense College flag, and the flag of the Military Technical College, along with the flag of the Medical Military College of the Armed Forces, as well as the Technological Military College flag. Group of the graduates of the Air Defense College graduates. And in conclusion, we get the military parade today with the group that carries the military of the Military Academy flag, along with the flag of the Arab Republic of Egypt in between. Long live Egypt. So we conclude the group of graduates with the graduates of the Military Technical College.
الحفل الكريم.
The distinguished attendees, today is recorded in the history with spark of lights. Those moments will be commemorative to the end of days. So in the parade yard we have the mixture of those defending the soil and the dignity of our homeland, the sons of Egypt, in the optimal shape, with the great proficiency and mastery performance on the top of the world standard military ranks. Who would ever think to defeat the lair of those forces and fighters? So Egypt have peace with those generation who are devoted to their roots and their ancestors, and to have the pride on the land with their slogan that can penetrate the globe. Those are the inherents of the meaning of devotion and defending. Those are the sons of victory age. And now in front of the podium and in the sky we have the paratroopers with Delta equipment forming very technical formations, demonstrating their variable techniques and tactics and how they are very equipped to adopt any mission they would be assigned to. And into this conclusion frame, and from the left-hand side we have also the female graduates of the universities today joining us in our celebration. Triangle and pyramid formation.
تشكيل المعين.
Specific formation.
شعب مصر الأبي،
Great people of Egypt,
تجولوا بأعينكم داخل
search with your
ساحة
eyes
الاحتفال
into the parade yards and feel proud up to the skies. Feel proud with Egypt's sons and fighters. And let's ask ourselves this.
لديه
Would
أبطال
for a nation that
يسدون
has
عين
such
الشمس
heroes,
مثل هؤلاء
such like
الرجال،
those men,
له أن يخشى
would
على
they
أمنه
ever
وأمانه؟
feel insecure?
لا والله.
No. In the name of Allah Almighty God, Egypt will remain in safe with its people, would never be shakeable. Egypt will remain an actual rock where any other attackers would be defeated at. The beacon of pride and strength in the east, whoever would be trying to penetrate haven't been able to. The name of Egypt, which is unbreakable, and it would never be lifted behind. The sign of victory is just there in the map and the roadmap of this homeland since early days till the doomsday. While the land just goes through its civilizations, Egypt was through the Nile, setting its pyramids, relentlessly standing. Wherever would people try to talk about it, would never be able to express how Egypt is. Now we have the flow of the souls of our belated martyrs, so peace to their souls. Military parade groups, martyrs, attention. Hands alongside. Military parade groups, weapons aside. The head of the Armed Forces military trainings to announce the graduation results. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. His Excellency, the General Chief Commander of Armed Forces, the Ministry of Defense and Military Production, has ratified on the results of the military academies as following. Firstly, providing the 116 Armed Forces batch and 115 Armed Forces batches with the high degrees to have the Bachelor of Military Science. Secondly, to provide the second group and second batch of the high studies conclusion certificate of military science study. Thirdly, 73 naval batches to be provided the Bachelor of the Naval Science degree. Fourthly, to provide the batch number 89 for Air Military Science, the Bachelor of Air Science certificate and degree. Fifthly, to provide the batch number 95 for the Military College graduates degree of engineering bachelor with the conclusion certificate of study. Sixthly, to provide the Air Defense batch number 50 degree of military science degree for air defense. Seventhly, to give the fourth batch of the medical military college the Bachelor of Medicine degree and surgery and the conclusion of military study certificate. Eighthly, to provide the batch number 51 from the Technological Military College, the first level, the military technical diploma for the Armed Forces certificate. The success and the passing results for those who have been approved for go through the test is 100%, and may Allah give you success. Now the military parade groups, weapons alongside.
تسليم وتسلم القيادة.
Exchanging leadership. I swear by God to keep the discipline of my college internally and externally, to obey the commands of my commanders with the belief of the slogan of my college. Hence, we have exchanged the leadership from the batch of the graduates to the new batches to continue the discipline between one batch to another. Here we get the flags of the military colleges along with new leaders.
الخريجين.
Group of graduates. Military parade groups, weapons alongside.
مدير إدارة شؤون ضباط
The
القوات
head
المسلحة
of
لإعلان
the
قرار
armed
التعيين
forces to
ومنح
announce
الأوراق
the merits to the first graduates. In the name of Allah, most merciful, most compassionate, His Excellency, the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, has ratified the following. Firstly, to assign the armed forces graduates, batches number 116, armed forces 73, navals 98, air forces 50, air defense 115, armed forces with the postgraduate holders with the first batch of special troops and the graduates of 51 of Technological Military College as first lieutenants, under training, and the graduates of technical military as under training lieutenants, and the graduates of the second batch of the postgraduate holders to be assigned as first lieutenant under training according to their scientific degrees starting from 30th of June 2022. Secondly, to assign the graduates of the fourth batch of the Military Medical College as medical lieutenants starting from 1st of October 2022. Thirdly, to give the top graduates the second ranking medals of merit in appreciation to their endeavors through the studies from the armed forces under training Lieutenant Marwan Samir Ramadan, Lieutenant under training Ahmed Walid Gamal, Lieutenant on probation veteran Adel Ishaq Lutfi, Lieutenant on probation Ali Said, and from Burundi Republic, Lieutenant on probation Fabrice Nugabo, from Chad Republic, Lieutenant on probation Mansour Abdel Qadir Haroun, from Yemen, Lieutenant on probation Hussein Khalid Al-Ashbat, and from Palestine, Lieutenant on probation Qusay Abdel Latif Mahmoud, and from the Navy, Lieutenant on probation Islam Arafa Qutb, from Al-Kuwait, Naval Lieutenant on probation Khalid Mish'al, from Tanzania, Navy Lieutenant on probation Avia Nasum Kabumi, and from Air Forces, Lieutenant Pilot on probation Mahmoud Ashraf Saifullah, Lieutenant Pilot on probation Ali Musbah Abdel Latif, and from Ghania Republic, Lieutenant Pilot on probation Bakari Kala Bakari, and from the Military Technical College, First Lieutenant on probation Ayman Al-Shafi Amin, from Al-Bahrain, First Lieutenant on probation Yusuf Tariq Yusuf, and from Air Defense College, Lieutenant on probation Muhammad Saeed Abdel Bari, and from Saudi Arabia, Lieutenant on probation Ziad Ais Al Ghamdi,
من جمهورية السودان
from Sudan,
ولازم تحت الاختبار
lieutenant on probation
أبو بكر
أبو بكر
الصديق
فتح الرحمن سعيد
من كلية الطب بالقوات المسلحة
from Medical Military College
ولازم
of
أول
Armed
طبيب
Forces,
امتياز تحت
First
الاختبار
Lieutenant on probation
عمر
عمر أحمد
من الكلية العسكرية التكنولوجية
and from Technological
ولازم فني
Military
تحت
College
الاختبار
Technical Lieutenant on probation
خليفة.
أحمد خالد خليفة
من جمهورية جيبوتي
from Djibouti,
ملازم فني تحت
Technical
الاختبار
Lieutenant on probation
عوالة
حسن قورح.
عن قادة عظام من رموز العسكرية
The
المصرية
great soldiers and
أطلقت
leaders of
أسماءهم
armed
على الدفعات
forces
خريجي هذا
whose
العام
names were given to the
تخليدا لما
batches of
قدموه
this
من
year
أعمال
in
بطولية.
commemoration to what they
نقدم
have
الآن فيلما
provided. Now we
تسجيليا
will give,
من
we will
إعداد
provide
إدارة
a
الشؤون
documentary
المعنوية
movie by
بعنوان
the
قادة
moral
في وجدان
affairs
الأمة.
entitled Leaders of the Homeland.
في سجلات العسكرية المصرية أحداث وشخصيات، وفي تلك السجلات تسطع أسماء لقادة
names of our prominent leaders who have been appreciated by history with lines of light in the merit records. Among those leaders, Muhammad Sharif Muhammad al-Sabiq, the previous naval leaders who had joined the Navy, and he was graduated in 1965, who participated in Egypt New Wars, and he was promoted in the naval ranks till he got to the position of the naval leader and commander till 1990. And in appreciation to his role, his name was given to the batch 73 of the Navy batch. And Commander Saeed Kamel Abdel Wahab, the previous air commander who joined the Air College and graduated in 1959 within the batch number 10. He also joined the Egyptian New Wars, and he was trained till he reached to the position of the commander of the Air Forces from 1990 till 1991. And in appreciation to his role in the Egyptian military, his name was given to the batch number 89 for Air Science Military Forces. And Marshal Sayyid Hamdi Hassan, the previous Armed Forces, he was graduated in 1949, and he joined the lines of the air defense, and he was promoted till he reached to the position of the Chief Commander of Air Forces from 1997 till 1983, and in commemoration to his military history, his name was given to the batch number 50 Air Forces. Commander Dr. Midhat Muhammad Mustafa, the previous principal of medical military. He was graduated in 1958 from University of Cairo, and he joined armed forces, and he has attained the training courses outside Egypt in the computing sciences, and he participated in constructing the first laboratory in the Technical Military College in 1966, and he was promoted through various ranks till he was assigned as the director from 1980 to 1982. And in commemoration to his role in upscaling the military science, his name was given to the batch number 59 Technical Military College. Commander Muhammad Farouk Kurtam, the previous director of the Technical Military College. He joined Armed Forces, and he was graduated in 1949 within the batch number 24. He was promoted in the various positions inside Armed Forces till he was assigned as the director of the Armed Forces Military Technical College. And in commemoration to what he has provided, his name was given to the batch number 51 Technological Armed College. batch.
الفريق فخري رفاعي
Commander
محمد
Fakhri
كامل.
Rifai Muhammad Kamil, Director of the Medical Services Unit. He was graduated from Faculty of Medicine in 1973 and he joined Armed Forces. And he was also promoted through various positions in the medical services till he was reached to the head of the Department of the Medical Services, and in commemoration to what he provided, his name was given to the batch number 4 of the Armed Forces Medical College batch. The names with the spark of lights are still increasing in the horizons, and they are getting up to levels with the great Egyptian leaders, among which the name of Safiuddin Abu Gawad Abu Shnaf, the commander, chief commander, the previous chief commander who was graduated from Armed Forces in 1953, and his role was very prominent as the leader to one of the battalion in October War. He was promoted through the various leading positions till he got the role of the chief commander of the Armed Forces, and due to his endeavor role he has received lots of medals of honor and medals of merit. And in appreciation to his endless history, his name was given to the batch number 116 of the Armed Forces batches. Days and years are passing through, and the succession of generations are carrying the barriers. But Egypt would never forget what those men have ever provided and presented. So we always raise our heads up along with our flags, and Egypt is there with people and army integrating and in relation till the doomsday. Appreciation with pride and dignity from the armed forces to people of Egypt, to those leaders whose names were written in the records of history. Now His Excellency, the Supreme Commander of Armed Forces, the President of the Republic of Egypt, will present the medals of honor and medals of merit to the graduates. Military parade groups, weapons alongside.
يمين الولاء.
Taking the oath.
اقسم بالله العظيم.
I swear by God.
اقسم بالله
I
العظيم.
swear by God.
اقسم بالله
I
العظيم.
swear by God.
أن أكون جنديا وفيا لجمهورية مصر العربية.
To be always loyal to Egypt, Arab Republic of Egypt, to maintain its peace and security,
حاميا ومدافعا
defending
عنها
and defeating its homeland
في البر والبحر
on
والجو.
land, air and sea,
داخل وخارج الجمهورية.
internally and externally,
مطيعا للأوامر العسكرية.
obeying the military commands,
منفذا لأوامر قادتي.
executing orders of my leaders,
محافظا على سلاحي.
maintaining and preserving my
لا
weapon
أتركه قط
that I will never leave
حتى أذوق
till
الموت.
I taste death.
والله على ما
And
أقول
Allah
شهيد.
is the greatest witness.
واحتفالا
And in celebration with the graduation of new batches from the Armed Forces colleges, now we see in the sky of the parade the Egyptian Silver Stars group performing this exceptional performance. Military parade groups, weapons alongside. The speech of General Ashraf Salim Zahir, the director of the Egyptian Armed Military College. In the name of Allah, most merciful, most compassionate, Your Excellency, President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, distinguished attendees, in one of those days of pride and in such an hour of hope and inspiration, in such moment of aspiration towards a better future, it's with great honor to celebrate with you in this citadel of self-confidence and discipline and the factory of men, the Armed Forces headquarters, which is so proud today to announce the new batches that will be joining the lines of the soldiers who are so much endeavored to write their names in the records of dignity, taken their oath into commitment and relentlessly persisting to provide all what they have. Distinguished attendees, today through this citadel al-victory and factory man, we put the lines of the new record for those new batches who would launch towards achievements and to adapt and to apply the steps very confidently towards their future and their achievements. Those youth full of faith, enthusiasm and determination, where we can witness on their faces their happiness and on their forehead the feature and signs of pride, who are so much abide by the Egyptian military principles, where they have been raised up to since their first day of joining the military colleges. Your Excellency, the President, our ceremony today comes while we are breathing the air of the victorious month October, which has the greatest day of the whole year, 6th of October, which will be immortally in our minds. And those heroes have been aware of what the generation of October has already executed and provided, so they took them as their role models, and they have learned from what happened in this war as a real challenge to build up and upscale their military mental capacities, and that defeating homeland is not ever a choice, but it is one of those holy duty. Your Excellency, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, the responsibility of providing fighters and heroes to the homeland is on the shoulders of the Armed Forces, and this requires great endeavors and devotion, where we try our hardest to build their calibers to be up to expectations and to be disciplined as they should. And we have decided to amend our curriculum to be in compliance with the modernization mechanisms that we witness. And here they are today, standing in front of Your Excellency, presenting themselves after they have taken the diligence oath, and within the momentum of the celebration of the new fighters. We shouldn't forget to pay tribute to the previous armed colleges directors for all what they have provided and for all the efforts they endeavored to our colleges, those who have taught us the greatest principles of dignity and patriotism. I would also like to pay tribute to the general leadership of the armed forces for the endless and relentless support, and to my colleagues, the principals of the military colleges and the staff of the colleges for training and teaching those sons to be such up to expectations and as so much liable. Meanwhile, emerging from our national role, we wouldn't only just work on the calibration and pre-qualification of the future fighters, but even we went beyond this to pre-qualify the new youth joining through the various state bodies to upscale their understanding and dimension of belongingness and devotion, and we will continue working on the same discipline with relentless persistence and determination. My dear sons and graduates, I graduate you and I congratulate you, but make sure that you have a great duty, that you should do it with all due diligence, and you should usually believe that you are the actual asset of this homeland. You are the sons of this land that has been in the universe before the whole history was ever recorded. And to the great families and parents, feel proud to the extent this is the day where you reap the fruits. You are here, and without your efforts with your sons, they wouldn't be able to stay here and to stand here on this holy part of the homeland and our soil. So congratulations to you, Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Egypt. Oath and determination, along with commitment to do all what it takes and to provide the selective and elite sons into the lines of our army, and to spare no effort to upscale them to the up to expectations. May Allah protect our country. May we have peace and security, and peace be on all of you. Your Excellency, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, President of the Republic of Egypt, allow me, Your Excellency, to provide you the Holy Quran to yourself as a sign of appreciation and to save the homeland. The first graduates of the Armed Forces and Police Academy presenting present to His Excellency the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces and the President of the Republic of Egypt. Your Excellency, the President, your sons and your men, the graduates of the Armed Forces College, are standing in front of Your Excellency today while their legs are so stable on the land and their heads is up to the sky. They have become today carrying the liability of defending and protecting their homeland. We promise, Your Excellency, Mr. President, that we will up to this liability, and we also promise our great people that we will work on the same steps and spirit of our ancestors with the same persistence and determination that our ancestors have been continuing, have been following, and in this occasion it's with great pleasure and pride to provide Your Excellency the shield of the Armed Forces Colleges as a sign of our appreciation to your wise leadership. So, Your Excellency, here is the shield. And also the Egyptian first graduates universities also celebrate with their military badges and congratulate them for their graduation. Your Excellency, the President, in such a day, we are so excited to announce that since we are the first graduates of the Egyptian universities and to celebrate with the Egyptian people with the launch of the new batch of our fighters and soldiers, the graduates of the Armed Forces College and Police Academy. In such a scene where we have the great synergy between the great Egyptians, police and the armed forces. From here, from the headquarters of the armed forces, the layer of men and the factory of men and the heart of the armed forces, we stand alongside with our brothers and sisters, the graduates of the armed forces and police academy. We all swear by God that we will spare no effort to provide all what it takes, weaponed and equipped with all of the knowledge and skills we have received and promoted with your support to youth to have the Egyptian flag up in the sky. Your Excellency, the President, in such a great occasion with all pride and dignity, it's with great pride and pleasure to present you the Egyptian University's shield in appreciation to Your Excellency and as a great belief in your wise leadership in line with the spirit of October to achieve Egyptian Vision 2030, asking Allah to grant you all success and to protect the Egyptian and our homeland in security and peace of Allah. And quoting just right after you, long live Egypt, long live Egypt, long live Egypt. Here is the shield, Your Excellency. Now with the speech of His Excellency, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt. Military parade groups, weapons alongside.
كبرنا كلنا من خيرها شربنا شهد من نيلها وقلنا لا ما فيش غيرها لها ألف جميل
بلدنا ليها روح وكاريزما بتبقى حضن وقت الأزمة تلاقي شعب آخر عصر.
In the name of Almighty Lord,
Colonel
Muhammad, weapons alongside. Military parade groups, weapons alongside. I wouldn't take too much of your time, but just firstly let me pay tribute and respect to our families that we are having here today, who are attending the celebration of the graduation of their sons from the various colleges. I welcome you all and congratulations everyone. Meanwhile, I'd like also to pay tribute and congratulations to our graduates of the cadets, and I wish you all Allah will grant you success in your life. This is the initial step in your common life as a graduate from an army college, and this is really resembles very significant step and a great step in your common life, in the life of all of our officers, whether they are graduated from civilian or military colleges. And let me here state to everyone that in this life that we survive, things are usually changeable. However, the wellness of human beings, supported by the divinely Lord, everything could be overcome. If you may have witnessed just 2 years ago, in a similar celebration, we were all standing here and we were putting the masks and taking the precautionary measures due to coronavirus, and everyone at that time were thinking that it's the end of days. No, it wasn't. It was just nothing, and we get rid of it. And it just has passed through, just like any other crisis that we have. Also the crisis that we have now. Let me even drive your attention to something else, maybe just a few years, not that much away. 2013, 2014, and even after that, where terrorism was performing lots of attacks. And maybe you all were witnessing at that time the numbers of our casualties and martyrs. You were maybe thinking, would we just continue in the same scenarios? I was confident that it would come to an end, just like any other crisis. Whoever can read history can prove this. This is exactly why I'm telling this here, right, to everyone, to all Egyptians, not only Egyptians, but even to the whole world. Nothing is ever static. Everything is changeable. And Allah is usually supporting us. May Allah grant us all peace, or we would never been able to overcome this. I want just to say that this current status that we live, despite the fact it was really tough, however, Allah has granted us support, and we will be able to come across anything with peace and security. And I think that we all follow all of the hardships that we witness, not just in our country, but in the whole world. But as I just stated a while ago, that coronavirus, for instance, that took place for 2 years, has come to an end at the end of days, very peacefully, despite of its impacts. But again, it has come to an end, and today we are here together and we are saying that we can announce that it has got very mitigated impacts that we can live with. Also the crisis that we currently have, even if it does have some tough impacts, but again, it would come one day to an end. What remains is the states, the homelands, the soils, those remain. The security, the peace, the settlement, those the things that remain, because by the way, no country can witness advance unless they have peace and settlement. And I can visualize, and I maybe wouldn't just quote that once and over again, but maybe I have reflected on that before. When I was saying that the current scenarios that we see, they all just prove one single reality, that the efforts that are endeavored and exerted, not only from the officers of army and police, but from all of our citizens to maintain and preserve our soils. These efforts are really appreciated. And this is the actual reason for the 114 million live on the lands of Egypt with hope and aspiration for tomorrow. And all of the hardships will be overcome. We have welfare. We live in good conditions. And I can say that we all stand on solid ground. We didn't really face major challenges like other countries. Again, why? Because of the settlement and security that we have in Egypt that can enable us to do everything. I wouldn't forget to tell the new graduate officers, and maybe I have also mentioned that just a couple of days ago to the Ministry of Interior and the Police Academy, where I was saying that you should be aware that your role is really magnificent. If you would see the sacrifices being provided during not only the past 7 or 8 years. As you know, for instance, today we were given names for great leaders and prominent leaders and great martyrs and casualties in October 73, but still today and every year we celebrate and commemorate this victory. So I want also to say that even in our war against terrorism, yes, we got some casualties and some martyrs, so we usually keep mentioning their names to prove that not only the state, not only the government, not only the state bodies, but even all of the Egyptian peoples should remember individually that there is a family presented their son who has become a martyr after he was a good youth. This family has provided this son who has provided his soul so we can have peace and security. Why I just keep repeating this? Because this is to remind our new officers that this is the role of the military and the army. They should sacrifice themselves for the stability and security of this homeland. Without further ado, I ask Allah to grant you peace and success. And again, I want to congratulate the families. And I want to say that now responsibility is starting to be even increased. And I'm sure that you are up to expectations with all of the qualifications and skills you've acquired. And I hope that this step will be a first step in a greater future. May Allah grant peace and security to our homeland. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you. Military parade groups, weapons to shoulder. National anthem. Long live Arab Republic of Egypt. Long live Arab Republic of Egypt. Long live Arab Republic of Egypt.
هم حماة الأرض والعرض، هم فخر مصر، أبطالها، رجالها، أملها الباقي جيلا بعد جيل. هم خريج الأكاديمية العسكرية والكليات العسكرية المصرية، نذروا أنفسهم آملين النصر راغبين الشهادة، أقسموا يمين الولاء بأن تظل راية مصر عالية خفاقة أبد الدهر. انضموا إلى صفوف قواتنا المسلحة المصرية كرصيد جديد يضاف إلى قدرات مصر القتالية في الذود عن ثراها المقدس. هم الجيل الصاعد الواعي من خريج الأكاديمية العسكرية والكليات العسكرية المصرية. شعارهم الواجب، الشرف، الوطن.
احنا حريصين دائما على ان احنا ننتقي افضل العناصر، وده المعيار الوحيد اللي احنا حريصين عليه. بالمناسبة انتم الجيل اللي هيتولى مسؤولية حماية هذا البلد. انت قيمة كبيرة قوي.
الأكاديمية العسكرية والكليات العسكرية المصرية مصنع الرجال وعرين الأبطال في كل العصور. إنهم رجال صدقوا ما عاهدوا الله عليه. الكلية الحربية أسود القوات المسلحة المصرية، سادة المعارك، خفة في الحركة، قوة في الصدمة، دقة ومهارة عالية، طراز فريد من الانضباط والدقة، رجال المهام المستحيلة، رأس الحربة الضاربة في قلب العدو. المجد لمن يذود عن أرض الوطن ويحفظ لها أمنها ضد أي اعتداء خارجي. الكلية البحرية وحوش البحار، الإرادة المصرية حين تتجلى في أروع صورها لحماية السواحل المصرية. إنهم رجال الشرف والعلم والفداء. الكلية الجوية نسور السماء الحامية لأمن مصر القومي على كافة المحاور الاستراتيجية، نسور تعرف كيف تنقض على أهدافها وتواصل صعودها إلى العلا في سبيل المجد. كلية الدفاع الجوي قادرون على حماية المجال الجوي المصري ضد أي اختراق خارجي مهما على شأنه أو تعاظمت قدراته أو تنوعت طائراته. الكلية الفنية العسكرية يد تبني ويد تحمل السلاح، رجال فوق العادة يعرفون كيف ينفذون أهدافهم وكيف يسابقون الزمن بأرقى المعدلات الهندسية. الكلية العسكرية التكنولوجية كفاءة تكنولوجية وفنية عالية وانضباط عسكري من طراز فريد، منظومة تأمين فني لجميع معدات القوات المسلحة يواكب أحدث التكنولوجيات العالمية. كلية الطب للقوات المسلحة نخبة منتقاة من خيرة شباب مصر، أمل جديد لتخريج جيل يفيض بالعطاء الطبي لخدمة القطاعين العسكري والمدني. هكذا تتعدد الصروح العسكرية وتتنوع معها قدرات قواتنا المسلحة المصرية على كافة المحاور الاستراتيجية.
أنا بسجل لكم كل التحية وكل التقدير وكل الاحترام. دايما الكلية الحربية والكليات العسكرية والقوات المسلحة بالكامل دايما في عزة وفخر.
وتبقى الأكاديمية العسكرية والكليات العسكرية المصرية مصنع الرجال وعرين الأبطال.
علميا وعمليا، ولديهم الوعي الكافي للقيادة بصفوف قواتنا المسلحة. هو مش في سينا فقط، ولكن الضباط بيتوزعوا على وحدات القوات المسلحة بجميع الجيوش والمناطق. لكن أنا عاوز أقول لك إن بينهم وبين بعض بيتنافسوا.
They are so much competitive because they want to serve in Sinai along with their officers who do their holy role to protect the soil of land. Usually the general authority for the armed forces do great efforts to upscale those officers with the knowledge, awareness, and capabilities, and they are fully aware of internal, regional, and international news on the services. So we hope that they will be added value to the lines of our colleges. Well, for sure, the armed forces and technological armed forces graduates, they have been highly trained. As you know, education is actually relying on four main axes for the staff, the curriculum, student, and educational environment. And thank God that all of those four axes we have provided the highest level, so those graduates could be joining their battalions and formation to be equipped with the modern tools. And this for sure requires that whoever would deal with those equipment should be highly educated technologically and technically. As for the curriculum, we've been able to be amended through military experts with state-of-art experts, and we've been able also to have consortium from Germany who helped in the modernization of the curriculum, and it also required that our staff should be highly qualified, and this also has been provided through the delegations that will provide and the pre-qualifications, so they could be able to deliver the messages properly to our cadets. For sure, our cadets may sometimes we provide them with the chances to travel abroad, to have also abroad experience, and they also crystallize their education level through a graduation project that demonstrate what they have been taught and what they have learned. As for the educational environment, for sure, it includes the equipment that we have into the classroom, along with the laboratories, which is actually highest tools that we use to help those cadets when they get to actual practice with those equipment, because those laboratories play the role of this weapon that those officers will use in the armed forces. As I told you, that we usually, through our education, which relies on scientific level, it starts from the first day of their joining, and we start to give them simulators, and we train them on the simulators or through the laboratories, which they deal with exactly like actual practice for their weapons in their battalions. In addition to the graduation project, which is an actual fruit of their 3 or 4 years of education, that showcase what they have already learned. And again, this is not done by chance, but we do it through a study. That, for instance, we have a specific issue in a certain weapon, so he solved this and provides solution for this issue through the exhibition of the graduation projects, where he states how can he provide resolution. So this would say and tell how can he use what he has learned to provide solution in his unit or in his battalion. Also, during their education, they pay field visits to the various workshops and public workshops, so they get to know the technology of repair and maintenance for any equipment or any weapon that they will be joined in the battalion. For sure, as for the criteria, they are the same. Whether they are Egyptians or foreigners, they should go and pass all of the tests. For the physical education test, physical or mental or educational, there is no discrepancy. They all have the same level of education, whether Egyptian or foreigners. For sure, anyone would like to join medical college, whoever would like to do this, I would just let them know that the actual criteria to join the college, that you should be so much concerned with your medical, physical, health, and the public knowledge. This will be the actual criteria to join the lines of the armed forces. There is no other standard but your capacity, physical and educational capacities. Again, we want to congratulate congratulate all of the new graduates who have now joined the armed forces. Your new blood fizzles into the heart of the armed forces, and for sure you will continue learning, because what you've learned before in the college, this will be the actual bacon to your role in front of the armed forces. You wouldn't be able to deal with any equipment unless you've been fully equipped through the delegations, through mastering English language, through getting postgraduate certificates, so you'll be able to deal with any equipment. For sure, for the Air Force's cadets, they are technically and educationally trained, so they could cope with the technology evolving and to be able to deal with those missions that they will be assigned to by the Air Forces. For sure, they are all pre-qualified as air officers, technically, physically, theoretically, and practically, and this is done through the state-of-art methods in the zero-client system. So any cadet in the Air Forces, they have their own computer uploaded with all of the curriculum, all of the subjects, all of the question banks, and they are even get evaluated through the learning management system. And this is very highly managerially adapted, and this is how we adapt with the technology evolving. So we get some amendments to the training. So since they join the Air Force College, the general flying, they start to commence it as initial and preeminence flight, and at the end of the academic year, they get to the formation and the battle flights and even night flights. So once they are graduate, they are already ready to join any battlefield. It's the same criteria that we have for the other armed forces. They should pass through the tests, the variable tests. In addition to this, in the Air Forces is for sure the medical competence. So they should get this evaluation for the potential air forces, and here they are subject to very accurate criteria of the medical checks-up. As I told you before, the technology evolving in flights require that maybe those medical criteria may somehow be increased to be able to deal with this modern equipment. Here today I would like to congratulate all of them, and I would recommend all of them to keep their mental health, to keep and to maintain their physical health, and to maintain their theoretical education. But again, they should continue learning and acquiring knowledge, because they will face dealing with new flights that requires to have very accurate in knowledge, so you could be able to perform your mission very properly. We are from the Technical Military College. We celebrate the graduation of the batch number 59, and we actually present to the armed forces and the whole Egyptians a group of engineer officers who are capable enough to deal with all of the armed systems, technologically, engineering knowledge and learning equipped, that can help them to fit in any mission. As you all know, that the space and satellite science has been main beacon in the new war. As you see in the Russian-Ukraine war, showcase that the main control is through satellite. So we've been aware of this through our Technical Military College, and we have constructed the first department for the aerospace that deals with all of the related science and pre-qualify those cadets to be able to deal with any related satellite fields. Meanwhile, we have also added an Egyptian allies with Nanjing University in China to launch the first two educational satellites on the college's level. They will to be launched next year. For sure, we have ongoing modernization, and each 5 years we modernize our curriculum to be in compliance with engineering evolving. Not only this, but also we have 4 main educational modernization. The first, which is student. The second is the staff, because we have competent staff who have got their certificates from Canada, from China, from England, from France, from lots of other advanced countries. So the qualification of our staff also has its impact on our students and cadets. Moreover, we also develop our educational environment, and as I told you before, each 5 years we upgrade our curriculum to be in compliance with the educational system. So actually we have mainly military and engineering education criteria. So all of the criteria that apply on the Egyptians also apply on foreigners. So they should all be having competency in education, mental health, physical health. All of the provisions and criteria that should be applied on the Egyptians, they also apply on other nationalities. My recommendation to my graduates that they have passed through lots of training, education and pre-qualification, and we ask Allah Almighty to grant them the success to be new blood vessels into the heart of the army, the armed forces, to be able to provide all what it takes inside the armed forces system. As you said, it's a new blood vessels that we have in the armed forces, and according to their competencies, because actually the qualification program that we have, since we consider lots of things like discipline, military discipline, and military competences, and we start also on working on continuous curriculum modernization to be in compliance with the changes that we have in the naval curriculum. So now we changed all of the education to be interactive learning system and the digital educational system, so all of the cadets have the sense of this new technology beforehand. And then we start to provide some field visits, and also the naval forces provide specific units to train our cadets inside the regional water. Also we have internal workshops and camps that we provide to the freshmen and the second year, where they get to know about the Mediterranean Sea or the Red Sea in the naval fleet, where they get to know what are the economic and vitals and Suez corridor. And this is all in line with the public plan, where the cadets also travel to specific brother countries where we do mutual activities. So we have a practical side in condensed, and actually, as we said, the Naval College has all tend towards the digital learning, and all of the mechanism has been now interactive mechanism educational systems. So they no longer have books and pens. However, they have been all now interacting with their staff instructors. Even all of their health, mental health and psychological health, they get support from all of the related bodies. Through their 4 years in the Naval College, they should go to couple of external trips in the 3rd and the 4th year, where they visit foreign countries and to visit other counterpart colleges. Also in the 2nd and the 3rd year, they have also the camp for the Mediterranean Sea and Red Sea. For sure, the provisions that we apply on Egyptians may differ, because in Egypt we should have a specific criteria according to their roots, parents and education. But maybe the Naval College somehow also requires to have excellent swimming capabilities. And as I told you before, that the Military College accepts those who submit from all of the Egyptian categories. However, we just may select with additional competences for those who can perform swimming better than others. I wish them all success, but if you would just allow me to give them a piece of advice, that they should be fully disciplined. They should obey and to take care of their obey their leaders, and to be close to their colleagues. They should be role models, to not just to their colleagues but also to their families and neighbors. I'm so excited and proud for my graduation at the first on the military armed forces with all the due diligence to my parents, colleagues and staff who supported me with all they have. Actually, through the college, I've been educationally, mentally, and physically qualified through various educational classrooms and very advanced laboratories with the experts that we have who teach us, along with various training courses and the graduation projects. So I'm so much proud that I have become now an officer in the armed forces, join our army, and I wish that Allah would grant me success to help my country. Well, I feel that it's a great honor today since I joined the Naval College from the first day. I have become now one of the top cadets or graduates. I have this feeling to provide something different to my college and homeland. I thank my parents who helped me to be here, and I thank my leaders who qualified me to be here. And I pay tribute to the Naval College who taught me how to become here, standing on this land through the discipline and the military and the naval educations and the physical trainings that has all helped me to be a competent officer graduated today. So I would also tell anyone who would like to join those colleges to be up to expectations. Well, at the very beginning, I was somehow feeling afraid to join the lines, but for sure we are the generation of the 25th generation revolution. So this was actually one of the greatest incentives to join those lines. I promise all of my country, people and army that I will spare no effort to provide all what it takes and to serve my country and sacrifice for it. At the beginning, this was a really dream and milestone. I'm so happy that I've managed to be one of those graduates. I hope to be up to the liability on my shoulders and to add real value to the armed forces. We've been actually waiting for this moment for years. I am so excited that I have now become an officer of the Air Forces. I hope to be exceptional officer. I promise to provide everything that requires to be one of the best of the Air Force troops, and I hope that I will be exceptional element to our homeland. I cannot express my feeling, but I can just say that I'm so much proud, especially that I've been ranked as #1 on my batch. This is the least present I should give to my parents, who helped me quite a lot through my education years. I want to say that this is the beginning, it's not the end. We will continue the same path to serve Egypt and armed forces. I would also seize this opportunity to promise His Excellency the President Sisi and my leaders that I will be meeting their expectations and I will do all it takes for performing those liabilities on our shoulders. I'm so much proud of Yusuf and his colleagues and all of those graduates. I'm so much happy for all of them. May Allah grant them success. I should tell them that they should all protect their land. I cannot really express how I feel. I am proud that the President is here with us, appreciating them. It was 6 years of efforts and struggle, but today we reap the fruit. So I want to tell them that each step that they take, they should put in front of their eyes Egypt. For sure, this is one of the very good things in October, since October is the month of victory. Actually, they were so much enthusiasm, especially my daughter, who has insisted to join the medical military college. college, I tried to tell her how military life is not easy, especially that she's a girl. But she persisted and insisted on this, and I couldn't help but to support her. And thank God that it was very positive experience, and she's today graduating as one of the top graduates. Today is the happiest day ever. It's a great honor for me that she has continued the great path of dream where she achieved her milestone. I'm so much really happy for her. Today is the happiest day ever to see my daughter as one of those prominent cadets who help and serve their homelands. I feel so much proud of her and her colleagues. For sure, this is very significant responsibility, not just for them, but also for me and for the whole family. I really cannot speak my mind. It's a great responsibility for sure, because this would mean that he should serve and protect the whole homeland. Actually, they carry on their shoulders the safety of the whole homeland. May Allah grant them success. I'm so much happy for him. May Allah grant him and his colleagues success. They should do what it takes to help and save their countries. I'm so much happy. I wish to live till the day where I can see his son as well. I've tried to make sure that he would be so much devoted to his military life. I tell him that he should always keep Allah in his mind and to do what it takes to perform his liabilities. I'm so much happy that all of the struggle we've seen in the few years, today we reap the fruit. May Allah grant him success and happiness. So much happy. I'm proud with the graduation of my son today. My message to him that he should continue working, continue learning and studying to be always on top of the line. He was so much brave to take such a step, and he's so much persistent on it, and thank God that he was graduated from it.